Thanks for checking out Chamber Web TV. This is Cambridge Votes 2014, a conversation with candidates for the upcoming October 27th municipal election. And I'm Greg DeRoche, your President and CEO of the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce. And it's my pleasure to sit down with Kayla Andrade, candidate for Ward 1. Kayla, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Have you been out banging on doors? Well, not right yet, but you've got 6 weeks.
I got the phone.
You got
I've been on the phone.
A phone and social media and all kinds of things.
Yes, I definitely have been.
You're a big social media person. Like
it's the 2014.
You asked me to be your friend on Facebook, so I did.
High
five. So I watch you all the time on there, and I told you that before, that I'm a lurker, so then you said, oh, then I better watch what I post. So that's nice that you consider the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce important.
Of course.
That's
Definitely.
Great. Kayla.
Yes.
Why are you running?
Why am I running? I want to have a say in my community. I want to make things better. I want to put my ideas out there. I want to support a ward that I feel that has so much potential, and they just need the right person to support them.
You've got a really interesting ward, actually, and I can remember the last election interviewing the candidates there, because you've got, you know, a really sizable Toyota's your constituent, industrial base in there. You've got a residential component. You actually have a fairly rural residential component out in the Blair area as well. And then, of course, you've got some commercial as well. Does that excite you to represent all of those, or does it give you concern that how are you going to address the interests of
It excites me. It excites me to meet everyone from different areas. We have a Preston, a Hespeler, the commercial, the industrial, and it's nice to see who they are, where they come from, what their vision is for Cambridge, and how they can contribute into making it better. Yeah,
it's really interesting. I think it's personally for me it'd be exciting because of the industrial component there. I think it's lots of potential for growth and new things happening all the time. So that's great. What issue do you think is the biggest issue facing Cambridge and other municipalities in Ontario today?
For personal experience from research for the last 4 years, I can say that the biggest issue that we face is housing. I think we have a housing crisis, and it's all over, and we want to make sure that we address this, especially in Cambridge. And I definitely have some ideas, and I have the momentum to do so.
What housing are you talking about? Social housing?
So we have the housing with certain bylaws that the city in particular can do itself, and about creating more residential units. It doesn't have to be more on the nonprofit housing side of things. It's something that we can do by just changing a few rules on council.
So I think there was somebody that I ran into the other day, and I can't remember who it was, talked about that they felt that there was a lack of mid to high end residential rental property. And more specifically talking about high-rise towers. There's not enough apartments to rent for middle and higher-end income earners. Would you agree with that?
It's hard to say. I think we have, I know that there's 3,100 families who are waiting for a cheaper place to live, or even a rental
unit. So that's affordable housing.
That's affordable housing. I see that we have a lot of potential in the area for different types of the way that the properties are laid out, like a bungalow. I say that we have opportunities there to allow secondary units.
So duplexing?
And duplexing, and maybe triplex.
By right?
Well, right now it's going to cost about between $3,000 to $5,000 to legalize a secondary unit, and I think we need to start looking at the different types of fee structures and the way that we accept applications at the city, so that we can allow more investors to want to do this and create more housing. I know for myself, I do have, you know, a triplex that I technically could move out of it if they legalize it as a triplex, and I can provide 3 units onto the market.
That's interesting. You'd like to do that?
You know what? I would, and I definitely would, but I want to focus on trying to get affordable housing and working at the ground issues of why we can't get that.
That's good. And there probably always will be a need for affordable housing, but making sure you got the policies in place are critically important. What do you see as the biggest issue facing Ward 1?
From talking to Ward 1, I hear a lot about traffic, and I hear a lot about the Riverside Dam. Everyone's excited now because it just came into the paper that they're taking a second look at fixing the dam, which I think is a fantastic idea. I think that when they do want to fix it, just as long as we're getting some competitive quoting, you know, before we pay for the job, let's get more quotes than we normally would get and see how cheap we can get it done to fix it.
Yeah, I think there were, the whole thing was, you know, there's taking it out, there was repair, and then there was total replacement, I think. But what you're saying now is they're going to take a second look at maybe they can repair it.
Yeah, repair it. You know, try to keep the cost down low. Give the ward what they want. You want to listen to the people. Because I think it was
an expensive exercise to even remove it. If I remember correctly, it was like millions of dollars to take it out.
Yes, and they've been kind of showing other examples around different areas to see how easy it is.
That's what they do when they get pushed up against the wall. The Chamber, as you know, opposed the LRT. Or maybe you don't know that, but we did oppose the LRT. More particularly, we opposed it from the perspective as well, because we had to pay a share and possibly never see it. It's a regional assessment. However, that battle is over. I use this little forum just to banter my banter because I'm still upset at it. However, it is over and it is what it is. But maybe there's hope that Cambridge could, with vision, get the LRT here sooner than they even project up there. But it may take some heavy lifting, out of the box thinking, and building a strong case for the need for LRT, because that's what it's all about. It's all about how do you create a need, how do you get riders using public transportation. So how would you propose moving forward in the best interests of our community?
For the LRT, I believe that we really should be looking at the need. How many people need it, and how many people are going to stand behind it, and how can we think of different ways and solutions to get it if everyone wants it. I want to listen to everyone's thoughts and comments on the LRT, and majority of who I speak to, I want to make sure that their voices are heard.
Do you think it's a real, you know, and this is coming off a little bit, and Brett will probably be unhappy with me asking this question, but that's Brett's problem. Do you favor the LRT? Do you think that that's the right technology?
You know what? One, it's about the region. The regions, we're sending someone to the region to support Cambridge, and obviously they're going to have to bring our voices to the region to get what we want. I feel that with the LRT, obviously it's an easy, everyone talks about transit. A lot of people do drive their own cars. So it's kind of, do we really need it, and how can it work? I think the students will love it. People communicating like outside of Cambridge can park their car there, get on the LRT, go, come back, and spend a little bit less money in gas. But besides that, it's for me, I'm a driver. You know, I won't be using it, but I know that other people may need it.
Yeah, and you know, if it's got effective connections, I think that's maybe the important part. We've also, staying on the transportation line, we've also talked or heard about Go Service. We've actually heard about that for I think the other candidate said 20 years, but I think it's a lot longer than 20 years, because I was on council 20 years ago, and it was an issue even before then. So it's probably closer to 30 years we've been talking about Go Service coming to Cambridge. Kitchener has limited one-way service right now. They leave in the morning and they come back in the evening. And there's been a commitment by the Premier for two-way, all-day Go Service into Kitchener. So Cambridge has made a good case. It's a substantially lower cost to do it from Cambridge. Much more opportunity. However, we'll have to see if Cambridge ends up winning that battle in the end and getting connected before Kitchener. We now have a Liberal member of provincial parliament. That might go a long ways for us. If we had Go Service to Cambridge, what benefit or otherwise do you feel might this have what effect might it have on Cambridge? So I guess what I'm saying is, if we were to have Go Service and we had two-way all-day transportation, what do you think that would do for Cambridge?
I think it'll bring more people to Cambridge. I know it's an easier access to coming from Kitchener, coming from Waterloo, and coming into Cambridge, vice versa, Cambridge going out to Kitchener. A lot of people do work in Kitchener as well. It could be a very beneficial thing to people to use this type of service.
Do you think you'd use it?
I have my car. I have my car.
Yeah, but what if you wanted to go downtown Toronto? Have you ever used Go?
No, I haven't used it. But like, I like the comfort of the car. I come and go. I don't have to stand and wait. It's about being not spoiled, but you're so used to having your own.
Accessible.
Yeah,
You know
it's your
what?
own
It's kind of, and I know I'm getting off a little bit, but it's kind of our argument. Our argument was, how are you going to get people out of cars when obviously automobile manufacturers are going to make it cheaper to drive the car. You know, energy conservation in itself is going to be there. You know, we're going to have cars that drive by themselves where you can actually read a book and go someplace. How are you going to get people out of a car?
Put the gas prices up and you'll get them
Yeah,
out of their car.
and that seems
that's
to
what's
be
happening.
maybe the only thing. And you know, and even still at at $1.30, people are still the 401 still parking lot half the time.
Yeah, you want to...
Even gas prices don't seem to do it.
Sometimes it's about people, if they're comfortable, you know, if they don't like a lot of people around them, they may not use it as well. It all depends on the demand, and I feel that they should be stretching out a little further.
So when government does these studies and says, we've asked 10,000 people, and, you know, 3,000 of them said, yes, I'm going to use Go every single day, and then Kitchener gets Go, and we find out that 125 people a week use it, not thousands, but we spent tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars to bring it there. How do we validate that? How do we can't, that these types of services are not pulling people out of their cars.
No, I think, well, if Kitchener has already got the go-ahead, I don't know if we are able to let them, how they like it there, how it's working for them.
Well, I think the Premier, first of all, they have the service right now just going one way, into Toronto in the morning and out of Toronto in the evening. So it's not two-way all day. So it's not like going to Milton where you can go back and forth all the time. But you know, I think the real point is that in spite of all the studies that were done to prepare for that, it still didn't serve a tremendous amount of people. It's 125 people, and I think it was $300 million. Wow. For 125 people. You could buy them each a car.
We got to balance out the wants versus the needs.
I know, but I just don't know how to validate that. And you know, we've been continuously saying that, the Chamber has, you know, you got to figure out a way to do that. But the Premier has promised now, even based on the fact that only 125 people a week use it, promised two-way all day in Kitchener, at another cost of, they're estimating $800 million to do that.
This is when we have to sit back and take a really good look at.
You think they'd be better to put $800 million into affordable housing?
Of course. Of course.
I knew I'd get your attention with that one. Well, and you know what? That's a part of being a councillor too, is balancing the wants, the needs, and the effect.
Yes.
And you know, not spending $1 million on that is maybe honorable, but if you spend $1 million on that and it serves thousands of people, then that's a good investment.
Yes, for sure.
Regardless of what it is, whether it's an important need or not. If it's a baseball diamond, people might say, well, should put the $1 million into social housing. Yes, but we should put this $1 million into baseball diamonds too.
Well, definitely we have to kind of just don't go so big so fast, you know, start off small, work it up, you know, keep them.
And this is going to be your responsibility. You're paying for all this stuff.
Oh, yes.
Not me.
Yes.
You're going to be paying for me. You're supposed to take care of me in my old age.
I just left the bank yesterday for paying.
Where do you see Cambridge in 25 years?
If we have the right people on council and the out-of-the-box thinkers and ready to make a change and not be afraid to make changes, Cambridge could be a very fantastic, popular spot if we are just taking care of the people here. Because when people find out we're taking care of the citizens in Cambridge, they're going to want to be one of those people in Cambridge.
You know, I really share your vision. I think that if we do the right things, Cambridge has the greatest potential in the region. We have the most beautiful downtown core of almost most communities in Ontario, actually. It's just a gorgeous core.
Even every core from the Preston area, the Hespeler, it's all beautiful if you just take a chance to go there and take a look.
Yeah, and maybe we do some strategic investment in there.
We need some people up there. We need some people up there. They're one.
Kayla, we're coming to the end, but there's a really, and I know you're all over this because you're a techie kind of person. You're into the social media stuff, and you like to get your voice out that way, and that's great. There's a little bit of controversy around online voting. I don't share that controversy. I think from a personal perspective, the internet's 25 years old. It's the 21st century. You know, wake up, smell the roses, we're here. We need to embrace something like that, because if it's about getting more voters, That's what it should be about, engaging more people. What do you think of online voting and telephone voting for this municipal election?
I think it's fantastic.
Good for you.
I think it's fantastic. With the phone, the internet, people still able to go to the polls to do it the old-fashioned way. I think it's fantastic, and it's a way for us to learn from just the election and carry the phone, the internet, and going to the city to able to voice our concerns and our issues as well, and our solutions with the city, if they can work that even.
Wouldn't it be great if every elected councillor set up a website where people could go and electronically post their comments?
Yes, I love that.
Wouldn't it be wonderful? I think it would be.
It would be great. It would be fantastic.
Do you think we need to worry about the security that, like, we understand that the city is not just going to willy-nilly make up their own website and have people, you know, there's security protocols brought into place. Do you think we need to worry that much about it?
You know what? If I'm elected in, I'm going to be having, I still want to do it anyways, but I want to have a Facebook page with as many people who are in my ward. I want them to send me a friend request. If they have any type of issues, concerns, or solutions to what's happening in Cambridge, I want them to share it so more people can give feedback. It's all about brainstorming.
Yeah. I think technology today allows us to be better connected to the electorate. And I think for us to divorce ourselves from that is a big mistake. You know, experts tell us that it wouldn't be unreasonable for us to see an increase from 28% to 45 or even 50% voter turnout in a municipal election because these avenues are open. I'm going to take a picture of myself, put it on Facebook, voting in my pajamas.
That's gonna be.
I think it's important.
I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it.
I think it's really important, and I think we should embrace this technology. It's here for our advantage now. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, it's going to always be here. So let's find out the positive ways we can use it.
We have to embrace it.
Yeah, I think so.
We have to.
Kayla, it's been great.
It's been great speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kayla Andrade, candidate in Ward 1. She's wanting your vote, and at this point I'm going to say, Kayla, how would you like to address your constituents?
I would just like to give them the opportunity to call me at any time. I want them to know that I'm going to be at Steph's Cafe and on October 2nd at 7 o'clock, so you can meet the candidate night. So if you have any questions, concerns, issues, or solutions, or just want to say hi, please call me.
That's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for checking out Chamber Web TV. This is, of course, Cambridge Votes 2014, conversation with the candidates. And today our conversation was with Kayla Andrade, candidate for Ward 1. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can vote in your pajamas, just like I'm going to do, by going online. And I believe the website is cambridge.ca/vote2014. It's been my pleasure, President of the Chamber of Commerce, to host this. Kayla, good luck.
Thank you.